We know Mr. Five-star Cormani McClain entered the transfer portal for a second time, leaving the Gators. But this time, he's picking out of these two teams.
Cormani McClain is now linked to USC, and his lawyer has said that Cormani McClain is now linked to USC and his hometown school of USF.
Because having choices is the American way.
I've been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. Mama say it's my fault, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Think it's best I put my...
Well, if you guys don't know, Cormani McClain had entered the transfer portal recently for a second time. Now he's narrowing down his decision between hometown South Florida University and University of Southern California. Now we're going to let 247 Sports break down the transfer situation and his new selection.
Cormani McClain is now linked to USC, and his lawyer has said that Cormani McClain is now linked to USC and his hometown school of USF. Smoke, regardless of where he goes in the future, how can McClain make things right?
Well, the first thing I would tell him is, young man, be silent. Silent is power. Stay off of social media. Understand it's to put together a better team around you that can properly get you into the place that fits you properly. Second, invest in yourself. Invest in your craft. When you look at his body from high school to college, it's still the same, meaning that he has invested in the weight room or nutrition.
Now, I agree with 247 Sports analysts that Cormani should have a better team around him. These are everything I said over a year ago, and people try to call me a hater. I've also wanted to go to a conclusion in what I said about going to Florida Gators and Billy Napier's, but we're going to save that. Let's listen up to more on what 247 had to say about Cormani and his changes to get acclimated to the college football season.
The weight room or nutrition. You watch him from his high school film to the few reps that he didn't have in college. You didn't see the technique that you would want to see from a high school player going on to their first year in college. So you didn't see that development. So you want to say, young man, just take some time to own your craft and find out what your why is. What I mean by why is the reason why you're playing this game, the reason why you're going to get from the step that you're at right now to get to the higher level of finding out when adversity does strike, you have to go back to that why, your real reason for playing this game that is difficult to play to begin with.
What's baffling about this move in the offseason, recently we just seen Cormani getting it in and working hard to get his goals and dreams accomplished. You can literally see right here how the young man was ready and he was operational and ready to play. The situation had me thinking everything is going to change. Now, maybe he goes to this new university, either USC or South Florida, and he really gives us a drastic change. But let's talk about some of the factors. Now, we all remember when Cormani left Colorado University, said some disparaging things against Coach Prime. His mom added her own pieces to it. Now, I respect Cormani and his mom. We don't want to get into those things anymore, but we remember the infamous situation which he actually decided to go to Florida Gators University. Man, this is damn shit. It's 2024. You just picked Florida? Cormani, why did you leave us for Florida? No, man, come on. Now, what made this decision a kind of hype one, because during this time, Cormani entered the transfer portal and he was stuck in it for a while. Couldn't find a team. People were recluse to actually stick to him or pick them up, or a lot of people were spectating that it was NIL situations, and him being from Lakeland, it made sense to pick Florida Gators. But I was one of the many faces telling Cormani, please, whatever you do, young man, do not pick Florida Gators University. Now, me being from Florida, one of the first schools I ever fell in love with was Florida Gators University. From the Emmitt Smiths and the Fred Taylors and the Danny Warfel, all the way to my greatest coach besides Deion Sanders was Steve Spurrier. I love Florida Gators. They have a beautiful tradition, and it's because of my love for Florida. I never supported them anymore after they kept hiring weak coaches after weak coaches. And when they hired Billy Napier, I was the first one who said we're going to crumble worse than ever before. And if Cormani went there, there were several many reasons why he shouldn't have went to Florida. See, during this time, Cormani had a situation with Florida even prior to him transferring to Florida Gators, when him and his mom were accused by recruiting analysts of playing both Miami and Florida Gators against each other through NIL negotiations, allegedly. And with this, people were warning Cormani it might not be good for you to go back to the coach who supposedly probably still feels some type of way through that recruiting process. Now, if you guys don't know, I warned Cormani about this. I told him Florida are not really interested in you. They're desperate. They have a bad performance to start the situation last year, prior to this year, and the year before. Billy Napier has never improved Florida as an entire brand. We already were great. He just needed to get us to the chip, hell, at least a championship game. He couldn't muster up the courage or intestinal fortitude to galvanize those young men. I mean, if you look at the receipts here, look at the date. This was 5/15/2024. Billy Napier's career was on thin ice. Why would you go to Florida University and thinking you were going to get good coaching and tutelage? With Coach Billy Napier's inability to change these players, I dare say, look at Deion Sanders. They claimed he didn't have experience, but he can get the best out of almost any player and make them a modern day college football star. This is why I wanted Cormani to stay at Colorado or at least transfer back. And what I told Cormani, even when we talked as men through the Instagram DMs, I told this guy, you're great, kid. Whatever you do, you're going to be great. Just steer away from Florida Gators. And he did not listen to me. He ended up going to Florida, and well, it didn't end up good for him.
Wide receiver number 7 who did a good job blocking downfield, but they picked up that penalty flag. So here's Texas looking to add to their lead. Still that timeout, 90 seconds until we get it to halftime. Viewers couldn't find that pocket with the coach. This is out of the backfield.
Now, we clearly seen he wasn't prepared at all. He wasn't ready. This is why I agree with the 247 Sports columnist, because if you look at my past videos, these are some of the things I kept talking about. I am not a Cormani hater. He knows me. I know him. We repaired whatever rift that we had when I tried to look out for him. Many of you groupies think I'm a hater, but I tried to advise the young man where probably he has yes men around him, and it didn't end up well at Florida University.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
I don't really chill with people off season, like, especially not other quarterbacks. Like, nothing like, don't get me wrong, there's no problem, nothing like that, but it's like, we compete against each other. Like, I'm trying to beat you. Like, I'm not trying to be your friend.
Yeah, do you think, though, that because you guys were from the same draft class, that you'll kind of always be linked together?
Yeah, no doubt. When we older, we'll probably laugh about it, but right now, it's serious. I ain't laughing with you.
Rap, for real. Show the footage. Mace was the first nigga that taught me how to rap. Cameron Mason, them niggas was getting tight and shit like that, so Mace put me down. Mace taught me how to rap and shit.
Come on, my nigga. Give it up.
Yeah, we might be down. It may not be Burkins. Oh, just you one with a 9 L. If it's crime, let's have fun.
The revolution must be televised. Murder? Killer, let him breathe, killer. Let's get into it. I got my popcorn ready, killer. Before we get into that, and this happened because I have nothing to do with this, killer. Pardon me. Because I'm astounded I'm a. This is the shit that baffles me. Niggas is not trying to belittle your character, Jomo, or none of that. But nigga, if we keep it at $150, tell it go. Murders, chill. Nigga, you not from Harlem, nigga. Niggas grew up 16 minutes from LaGuardia Airport. Nigga. Murder. Jimmy, I'm telling you right now, nigga, you failed. Another thing.
YouTube family, I need you to hit the like button, especially that like button. Share the video, and I want you guys to know thank you to each and every single one of you. Now, there was a lot of facade going on at Florida Gators University. For instance, when they were going to play Miami Hurricanes, they had Cormani getting ready, locked in, and they tried to make it look as if he was about to be a starter and play right away. And then previous videos were uploaded prior to the game, how he was locked in. It gave me goosebumps. I thought my boy was back in action. Now, what made people dislike Cormani McClain is not because he transferred. We actually have a lot of people transferring in and transferring out. Just like Coach Prime speaks about his Louis bags, and sometimes you can encounter counterfeit Louis bags. Now, speaking of the Africans on Canal Street in New York with their fake Louis bags being sold all over, we got some of these fake Louis bags, and a lot of the fans didn't like when some of the fake Louis bags were discrediting Coach Prime along with their parents, such as Alton McNo-Skills, Dylan Coward Edwards. We used to call him Cormani No Game McClain, but we've been more respectful towards him. But the fan base hasn't been respectful like me. They've been letting Cormani have it. I mean, everybody and anybody started releasing information on Cormani that just left a distasteful kind of feeling in people's mouth. No Diddy, but when you looked at it more deeper, they went in depth. We know Cormani is very educated, intelligent. He had good grades and he talks to the youth, but people were releasing he had alleged marijuana reasons. People were talking about not coming to class, being disruptive with other players. Now, these are just allegations. When I talk to the young man and I see him, I see something different. But when you go against the grain, people do not forget and they bring up other allegations such as these. Now, during him in this transfer portal, there was even Marcus Freeman of Notre Dame. A lot of his bandwagon fans, they started putting it on Twitter that Cormani was going to Notre Dame, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. There's a lot of reason one would want to go to the Fighting Irish, and I think it would have been a good look if Cormani went over there. Academically, he fits in for the school and he can easily get accepted. They would have had more of a proper discipline regiment for Cormani, because if Cormani stays in Florida and go to South Florida University, it's a wrap for him. And that's the problem. These guys want to stay home too much, and when you stay homebound, all the things that were the distractions in your life are still visible and they're still nearby. I mean, listen to me, Cormani. You're hella skilled out here, bro. You still have the ability to be a top-notch talent in the NFL. Your skills don't just go away, but work ethic is everything. And when you lack work ethic, you don't know which angles and directions to take to move forward, so you're stuck. It's like a man who can make a lot of money, but he doesn't know what to do to keep that money.
Забудем об этом.
I mean, look at your skill set. We cannot deny that you were born with a talent that many people who do have the work ethic that you don't have, they wish they had that extra ingredient to bring them to A to B quicker pace. And you're over here wasting your superpowers that was God given to you, sir. Cormani, I say this with love. For 2 years in a row, I can literally say I told you so, but how does that help me? The problem with young men like you, a lot of y'all don't take older guys' advice. You think we're haters if you listen to a guy like Travis Hunter who says this, and that's not the point at all. We're not haters at all. We've seen this pattern before, maybe not through us because we don't have your talent that you have, your immense talent that God gave you, but we've seen many guys like you come and go like that, sir. Many guys in my local high school who couldn't muster up the focus to enhance their God-given abilities so they can make it out these slums, out the mud, to make it into their dream goal, which is the NFL. You need to go to a school that can properly guide you. It's so easy when you go to these schools where you feel more comfortable at. I don't think USC is the better school, but it is the better focus than going to a South Florida university. Adversity is what make us, is what create us. For instance, when I went to boot camp, I thought I was too skinny. I was too small. I didn't believe in myself, even though the recruiter got me ready. You know what I mean? When I actually moved to New York and I got recruited over there, she was telling me you can do it. But I thought that's just so cliche of her, and it's her job. So when I went there in the beginning of boot camp, there were many dudes my age and younger and older, way bigger than me, stronger than me. So I thought. So when the training regiments began, the rigorous routes and training that were going on, I passed and surpassed damn near everybody. Top 10 in my class. Top 10 out of like 200 soldiers in different classes, that is. So think about it. It's not what you are afraid of. It's what you have the ability to overcome. There are many hurdles in life. What can you do to go through those hurdles without falling down? And so what? If you do fall, what do you do about it? I mean, Donnie McClurkin said the best thing ever. We fall down, but we get up. Sir, you got to get up. You can't keep going through the same thing you go through every day, because there's a name for that. They call that insanity. And at the end of the day, you're a clever young man. There is nothing nonchalant about you. You are born to play football. At some point in time, we got to go to the Himalaya mountains and we got to find ourselves. Cormani, separate from everybody. Just like 247 analyst said, lose sleep at the same time. Fight like your career depends on it. Because at the end of the day, your career does depend on it. Look, guys, I'm DJ Bless One, the best one. Love your family, love your kids, and stay blessed. Never forget, I'm telling you guys, this is bigger than football. It's deeper than football. With that being said, let me know how you guys feel in the comment sections about all this. I'm your guy, DJ Bless One, the best one. Peace, guys. Yeah, I know I just gave y'all Sammy Sosa.
Been good for you to see the weight of the people way heavy on my shoulders. To see the blueprint into the family, the boat. Just like one flow.